Do you want to be a property developer? Do you want to get out of your 9 to 5, quit your job, replace your income, and make as much money as you can? I'm going to give you right now the step-by-step guide on how to become a property developer in 2023. Right, kicking things off, step 1. You should buy a terraced house. Guys, my drawings are legendary in the property circle community. So that's an apex front door, by the way. So you should buy a terraced house, 2/3 bedrooms, and you should be able to take it back to brick. Now, if you can't manage a 2 to 3 bedroom terrace house back to brick renovation, maybe property isn't for you. But this is the starting point. This is what anybody that wants to become a property developer should do for the first step. Now, you should do this 2 or 3 times because it's not as easy as everybody thinks, but anybody can do it if you put your mind to it. You need to be able to understand the cost of a renovation. You need to understand how to manage people, how to find contractors, how to appoint contractors, make sure the right contracts are in place, make sure your due diligence is correct, and make sure you have a contingency. But this is number 1, the first step to becoming a successful property developer. Next up, we have your detached property, which will be a little bit larger, and this is the step 2 process in becoming a successful property developer. Now guys, remember, this is just my opinion. This is what I think you should do. Now the reason that I think you should go from a terrace to a detached house is because they will be larger gardens, hopefully. You will have a front garden, whereas with terrace you won't. So your costs, everything that you do, all of your due diligence has to be better than when you did a terrace property. Now, a detached property, back to brick, again, it's just the logical next step in becoming a successful property developer. Once you've done your terraced and you are now into the detached properties, I suggest then you take the next leap of faith and you go back to a terrace property. I'm not going to draw the whole thing for you because, you know what, I actually am going to draw the whole thing for you. People love my drawings. You go back to finding a terraced property and you convert this in to a HMO. Now, you're looking for a 3/4 bedroom terrace house that hopefully you can take to a 6, maybe 7 bedroom HMO. Remember, different legislations and rules between 6 and 7 bedrooms. So do your due diligence, understand it, get educated correctly. But this is the next level of property development that you should take. Now, when it comes to HMOs, there is a different type of due diligence from your terrace houses to your detached houses and your semi-detached if you want to do them as well. But the cost implications are different. Now, you've got to start understanding how to do this correctly because everybody wants to get into the HMO world. Everybody thinks that you can get straight into a commercial valuation, you know, you can double your money. Doesn't work like that, guys. You get bricks and mortar valuations. You've got to make sure that your property is different to the one next door. Is it easy to convert it into a HMO? Are your neighbours able to do what you have done without having to move any walls, add any extensions, anything under permitted development, anything under full planning? To get that commercial valuation and not that bricks and mortar, you have to be different. Also, if you have a portfolio of HMOs, your lenders, and you are a commercial and you've got commercial lending, it's easy for you to get the commercial valuation, but understand the difference. Everybody thinks that they can just jump straight into commercial valuation. Some can, some can't, so make sure you know what you're doing. But again, managing a HMO conversion is not easy. But do you have what it takes? If you join the property circle, I can teach you how to do this correctly. Next up, step 4. And this is where it gets interesting. You buy a property and you do a flat conversion. This is the logical next step into becoming a successful property developer in today's world, in my opinion. Now, turning a property into a flat conversion or turning a residential property, as in a 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom detached house, into 3/4/5 flats, depending on what you want to do, what your due diligence on the area is, what your spend is. Don't overdevelop, remember that, and also taking into account all the necessities that you need, like 3-phase electrics and certain things. I'm not going to go into a whole deep conversation, but there's lots of things you will need when it comes to a flat conversion, just like a HMO conversion. But this is the next step. Now, if you do a flat conversion in the UK, there are different rules. If you do a flat conversion in Wales, there are different rules, like you need sprinkler systems when you're in Wales. In the UK, you don't need them. But again, it's education. It's understanding what you need to do in order to achieve what you're trying to achieve. Now, flat conversions, again, it's just the logical next step. So once you have done your terraced, your semi and your detached houses, you've got into your HMOs, then it's time to jump into the flat conversions. Now, everything that I'm telling you to do multiple of, because you will always find new problems that you have to solve. Remember, property is a problem-solving industry. If you're enjoying this video, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and help us grow to become the biggest property channel in the UK. Step 5 in becoming a successful property developer is commercial to residential. Now, this is an overview of a commercial building that has residential upstairs and commercial downstairs. Now, you can buy a warehouse, you can buy a disused building. There are different classes that you can get permitted development under. This is the logical next step from what I believe becoming a successful property developer takes. So this is commercial to residential. Now, again, guys, due diligence has to be on point. You have to understand there's a cost implication to things like this. There's lots of different things you need to take into account or put into place when you are doing a commercial to a residential. But guys, these are the logical steps. These are the things that you should be doing in order to becoming what you want to be when it's a property developer. Now, everybody can say to me, oh, I can jump straight to commercial to residential with the right education. I can jump straight into flat conversion, self-contained units. You might be able to, yes. You might be the 1% that can actually do it. But usually, everybody has to start somewhere and everybody has to take it step by step. I use the analogy of a Premiership footballer. 1 in 100,000 actually start in the Premier League. The rest of them have to go out on loan to League 2 or League 1. And this is exact same in the process of becoming a successful property developer. You need to understand there is a step-by-step process in order to becoming the best. Now, this is the next level, commercial to residential. This is where it starts to get technically a little bit more difficult, but with the right education and the right people around you, it's very, very easy to achieve. And finally, on to step 6, which is your ground up developments. Now, not everybody wants to get to this level because obviously there's a massive risk. There's a huge risk when it comes to ground up developments, but this is the next step in a property developer's journey. There are other things you can do, but I've gone into the step-by-step process that I believe you need to follow in order to becoming the best property developer that you can be. Now, you might not agree with me, and some of you might agree with me, but I promise you, if you follow the steps that I have told you to follow, you will become unbelievable. You will become great because you will learn so much stuff in each stage that when you do get to the ground up developments, your education, your knowledge and your confidence will be that high, you will not be able to fail. So there you have it, my step-by-step guide to becoming the best property developer that you can be. Now, like I said, some of you might be able to skip steps, but not all of you will. So join the property circle, get educated by me, learn how to do this correctly, and watch your life change.